Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Career Pulse Podcast. I'm your host, Hayward Crawford. Episode 6 today is going to be featuring real estate investor, entrepreneur, sales professional, Justin Ivey. I first met Justin Ivey through the Game Changers Academy, an entrepreneur program through Peter Voog. And Justin Ivey is actually the founder of the Oakland County Cash Flow game. It's actually an event that's thrown on once a month that teaches people the basics of real estate and investing. Justin has spent 8 years as an entrepreneur and sales professional, and I'm very excited to have this interview with him. I just want to apologize. The sound quality is actually a little bit off, so it's a little bit muffled, so try and bear with me on that. The first maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I keep saying his name, eBay, so I'm just totally looking back like, man, but what are you going to do? This interview was actually recorded a little while ago, I think October of 2016. And we're actually about to drop this, should be in April 2017 of this month. So there's a few dates and references that you can kind of tell is a little dated, but it's still great content. What we specifically get into with this episode, we talk about a lot of different things, how to don't save to save, but save to invest, how college isn't for everybody. He's going to give us a few reasons why. Everything isn't for everybody. College doesn't teach you how to become wealthy. That's the conversation we get into, a hot button topic. We also dive into, Justin talks about the power of being an entrepreneur. This is very interesting stuff that you'll be able to actually get some practical takeaways to. What he means by the power of being an entrepreneur is the power of attaching yourself to revenue versus attaching yourself to wages or a company. Justin is a big proponent on you don't have to be an entrepreneur in order to become a millionaire, become wealthy. We discussed some of his mentors, Pastor Andrea Ellis, Grant Cardone, as well as Bishop T.D. Jakes. He talks about how opportunity is in your own backyard and how we unconsciously drive past it every day. He dives in on that. Talks about the importance of developing yourself as a sales professional and how most people really kind of hear that word and kind of shrug away, but everyone is in a level of sales no matter what career or field you're in when it comes to your job or career. He also talks about the power of starting a home-based business and writing off everything. That's another thing the middle class don't focus on. Also, he talks about how you can't judge a person by, can't put them on a pedestal because we all have different trials and tribulations that you have no idea that people may be going through. And finally, how he talks about how society is moving toward a more taxless society, and everyone should commit to becoming a millionaire. And also teaches, different low-level practice squad NFL athletes the importance of financial literacy. One of the things he wraps up on is to never lose sight of what the next goal is. Talks about sometimes we try to justify where we are in life without questioning, could we do more? And he talks about waking up every day on what do I need to do to create opportunities. And also, as a Christian, he really believes that we are blessed and we can get, from the utmost degree, we have the power to get wealth and get a lot of things that we want in our life. But sometimes we don't take the necessary action, or we kind of just wait for something to happen. And finally, Justin talks about how money is a really essential tool, how the more you can have, the more communities you can affect, and how, bringing more businesses to Detroit, that can help create more jobs. Money can be used as an influence to leave a legacy. And overall, at the end of the day, despite how much money you may have or what businesses you create, the most important thing about creating wealth is how many lives you can impact, before you leave. So buckle your seat tight and help me welcome the one and only Justin Ivey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Career Pulse Podcast, your vital sign for career and business from everyday go-getters like you. Today's episode features Justin Ivey. All right, so I'm here with Justin Ivey. Justin Ivey graduated from Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas in 2009. He spent the last 8 years working as an entrepreneur and sales professional. He's the partner of Lakeview Capital Investments here in Oakland County, Michigan, where he helps professionals and business owners leverage their existing funds
inside of real estate to create additional cash flow streams. He's also the president of the Oakland County Cash Flow game, where once a month he teaches individuals in the surrounding cities of Oakland County how to create passive income opportunities for themselves. He also teaches personal finance and entrepreneurship within Detroit Public Schools. His mission and life purpose is to help people learn and identify opportunities to help increase their income so they don't have to make the same mistake on relying on one income stream and being stuck in middle-class income. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Justin eBay. Justin, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. And, due to some of the circumstances and, dealing with a little bit of adversity, we were still able to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And we're getting the interview done no matter what.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, Justin, tell us, what do you typically tell people when they ask you what you do?
Well, I do a lot of different things. For the most part, what I usually tell people is that I'm a sales professional, an entrepreneur, and what I do is I help individuals learn how to create several income streams for themselves, whether that's in sales, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in partnerships. So whatever it is that an individual needs to do to create opportunities and additional cash flow for themselves, that's pretty much what I do. So someone says, "Hey, Justin, what do you do?" Well, I'm a sales professional and entrepreneur, and I help people find additional cash flow streams so they don't have to make the mistake of relying on one income.
Okay. Now, what would you say a day in the life of Justin eBay looks like from the time you wake up until you go to bed?
Well, I wake up, do about a 5-10 minute meditation, hit the shower. Usually out of the house probably about 6:30. I drive down to whichever school that I'm working with at that particular day. Usually spend about 2 hours working different 2 class sessions within Detroit Public Schools, whether it's East English Village or Detroit Cody, whichever one that I'm at. After that, I also am an IT sales consultant for a IT company right here in Southfield, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I work with them, get them going on whatever software or different things that they're trying to sell. Usually there for a couple hours. I also coach high school football.
So I going on multiple streams.
Yeah, multiple streams. So I leave there and I go coach high school football. I'm usually there for about 3.5 hours. After that, I have a new project that I'm working on where we're helping business owners kind of create $10,000 to $100,000 within their very business that they have right now. So that's a new project that we're working on right now. So pretty much from start to finish, I'm always going. But that's why I try to get people to understand. In today's day and age, a lot of people, I made the mistake. I know a lot of people that have made the mistake of just relying on one income. People always tell me, "Man, Justin, you do so much." Well, that's because I'm busy creating opportunities, creating additional income, so I can get enough cash to make the big play. And I don't know if I'm getting too ahead of you in this interview, but I always tell people, don't save just to save. Save to invest. And when you can invest, make sure that investment is airtight so you can create those passive incomes, because nobody wants to push and bump and grind every day trying to work. There's nothing wrong with hard work, but you want it to lead to something, and that's what I always try to get people to do.
Yeah, great point you said, and we're going to talk more about different income streams, perhaps.
Sure.
People out there who do have that one job and they're just sort of relying on that, but they don't know about all the other ways. I mean, there's real estate, there's network marketing, there's a lot of different areas that people just aren't aware of, and a lot of stigmas.
Sure.
And we just want to we can also maybe bust some of those myths too.
Sure.
All right. Now, could you describe your time, attending Midwestern State University? That's back in Texas, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And what experiences you took from there?
Well, I'm from Garland, Texas. Lived in Garland, went to high school in Garland, friends still in Garland. When I actually attended college, like you just mentioned, in Wichita Falls, Texas, Midwestern State University, and I actually attended it because I played college football. Okay. So I was actually on a football scholarship. I learned a lot about a lot of things that I've learned in college. Some of them apply to what I do now. Some of them did not, unfortunately. When I say the things that did apply, obviously hard work, commitment, working within a team, those are all different things that I learned, while I was playing football. And obviously those are skill sets that you can transfer into any area of life, whatever it is that you're trying to do or accomplish. But looking back in college, I'm not going to say college isn't necessary. For some people it is, if that's what they want. But looking back on it, if it wasn't for football, I probably could have done without it. And the reason I say that is because when you think about college conceptually, what is it? You're borrowing money anywhere, depending on what school you go to, anywhere between $30,000, $40,000, $60,000, $100,000 if you go to graduate school or medical school or whatever.
I know more people with more than that.
More than that, we all do, But think about it. When you look at it from that standpoint, you're borrowing money, $60,000, to go to school, only to get a job that might pay you $60,000 a year, maybe, because the average income in the United States right now is $52,000. So if you stayed at $52,000, maybe you get a couple bonuses here and there, you're never going to be really able to pay off that loan that you took to go and further your education. So those are things that I really, looking back at college, I'm not going to say, it was a complete waste of time. I learned how to research. I learned how to work with group members and stuff like that. Football was great. I attended a lot of parties, so that's always a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
But on the grand scheme of things, especially now, because, I know personally, I know a lot of people who are maybe graduated, got their bachelor's and master's degrees, and they're still not able to find employment in the field that they went to school for. And they're not able, they're not even able to make the amount of money that they were supposed to make, or they thought this field was going to be able to yield them at that particular time. So, I know it's kind of a long, drawn-out answer, but just to kind of summarize it, I would probably say that college, I learned how to do research. I learned how to work with different people, met some great people. Obviously, a lot of the other attributes and things that I learned were from the football field. But, looking back on it, I probably could have done without college. I probably could have done without it.
And I think a lot of people have. I think it's just one of those things where everything isn't for everybody. I mean, looking back, my college experience at Wayne State, I was there about 6 years. I was on that 6-year plan. And I switched majors a couple times. I had good experiences. I joined organizations. But there were other things that I just wasn't prepared for leaving out. That I wish I was more prepared for. So it's just one of those things where, everything isn't for everybody.
Well, here's the thing.
In my opinion.
College doesn't teach you how to become wealthy.
I agree.
Did you have a class that said, hey, become a millionaire before you're 30?
No wealth management 101.
None of that. Nobody ever had. There was no class that says how to become rich. Everyone is trying to attain the middle class lifestyle, and in the grand scheme of things, they're the ones getting punished in today's economy. They're the ones losing their homes. They're the ones losing their cars. They're the ones that can't be able to pay their bills. So that's really what's happening within today's economy. Now, you have the people who are the working poor, who are on welfare, and I'm not knocking anybody that's on it, because I've been on it at one point in time, public assistance and stuff like that, but the economy doesn't really affect them because they were already in that situation anyway. The wealthy people, they don't think like middle-class people, so obviously they're able to attain certain things when it comes to making more income. So, from that standpoint, if college was really helpful, they would make it their mission to teach people how to become wealthy. And that's something that they're not doing.
That's a great point. I never really thought about it like that. But, college is literally, I guess, it's kind of just processing and turning out
workers. They want to make workers. They want to make workers. They want to make workers. And then sometimes they be in a situation, you go work for a company, a good entrepreneur who started a business, and sometimes he just has a bachelor's degree. In some cases, he doesn't even have a college degree, and you went to college. You're working for him. So now you see that, wow, okay, he didn't even need that. So I think those type of things, if college would make it their effort to teach people how to become wealthy, then I would probably see a reason to attend college. And even then, it doesn't have to be as expensive as college is for a lot of people.
Okay.
So.
Now that's a great segue into our next question. Like, tell us about how you first stumbled into sales entrepreneurship while you were in Michigan. I remember you told this story before about how some events led to where you are now.
Yeah, it was
blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it was just a tough situation. Here I am. I moved to Michigan. I was working with the Pistons. I was only there for maybe about a couple months.
What were you doing? Your position was
corporate marketing. Corporate marketing.
Okay.
I had interned with them the summer before of 2008.
All right.
So I finished college, and then I actually came back and started working for them. So this is around 2009. A lot of people remember 2009. The economy was just horrible. I think Ford was even trading at like $5 a share at one point.
Pistons still weren't all that hot either.
Pistons, unfortunately, the owner had passed away, and the team wasn't doing very well. So, I moved out here, and here I am in Michigan, and I have my college degree, and they ended up letting our entire department go. At least a lot of us, they kept a few people, but the majority of that department was let go.
And you were only in Michigan, back in Michigan, starting.
I wasn't even here. I wasn't even in Michigan 90 days.
Oh.
I don't even think I was here 90 days, to be honest with you. So what ended up happening was, okay, they let me go, no problem. I went to the Career Center lots of times in college. I just go do what it is I know how to do. Submit a couple resumes, go to some interviews, learn how to, conduct myself in an interview, and hopefully somebody will hire me, right?
Right.
Wrong. That's not what happened. I found out that companies, I go in for an interview, well, Mr. Ivy, we like you, but you don't have a lot of experience. Well, that's why I'm here. I know I don't have a lot of experience. That's why I'm coming here. So that's when I found out that these companies were actually taking advantage of the situation. So in other words, say someone who works at Ford was used to making about $90,000, $100,000 as an engineer. He's willing to take less, $40,000, $50,000 a year. Why? He has kids. He has a wife. He has a mortgage. He has a car. So and they don't have to train him. So they were taking advantage of the situation. I didn't have a job for about a year. I was a year without a job. By the grace of God, I was able to stay in my apartment. I couldn't pay any bills. I ate ramen noodles for at least 3 months straight. So I know a lot of different ways that you can make ramen noodles. So it was just really, really tough. And then when I actually ended up finding jobs, it was always $9 or $10 an hour. It just wasn't enough. And I didn't have a car. I wrecked my car trying to get to an interview. And I remember walking in the snow trying to get to work. I'd walk 2 miles down, and sometimes, my fiance was my wife now, she'd come pick me up, so I didn't have to walk, 11 o'clock at night trying to get back home.
Right.
So it was just a really tough situation, and I have a degree. So I started researching, and I realized that salespeople are some of the most highest paid people in the industry. Okay? But, most people don't like sales. It's uncomfortable. Most people don't like to deal with rejection. They don't want to talk to people. They don't want to feel like they're pressuring anyone. That's usually the feeling or the objections when it comes to taking on a profession in sales. I learned I don't want to be a salesman. I wanted to be a sales professional. Someone who understood the business of sales, someone who understood how to have those conversations with people, how to get over those objections. I was like, okay, I need to learn and develop to be a sales professional. And that's really what started me on my path. When I found out that they could really, once you got good at it, you could make large sums of money. And then once you perfected that skill as a sales professional, you realize that that's something that a lot of companies want. So now I'm able to take that skill set and help other small business owners push their services, push their products, because I've become skilled at what it is that I do. So that kind of segues, again, I don't want to get too far into it, but that kind of segues into different income streams. How can I create different income streams if I'm working for somebody or if I already have a 9-to-5? Well, my first advice would be to develop as a sales professional, because there's a lot of small business owners in Metro Detroit area, a lot of them in downtown Detroit or in Detroit, and they're always looking for people, they're always looking for help and people that want to push their product and push their services. And if you can help them do that, you can tie your revenue, you can attach yourself to revenue as opposed to attaching yourself to wages. You're attaching yourself to revenue instead of attaching yourself to wages.
And you really pretty much become an ultimate chess piece in the market.
Right. You become an entrepreneur. So instead of, just say you want to start a coffee shop, you want to get the word out, you're selling, Hayward's gourmet coffee. You want all these people come to your coffee spot for your coffee and all the things that you do. And let's say I'm able to help promote your business, get people to come to the shop. Okay, great. Now, maybe we can figure out a way. Maybe you could do like memberships. Hey, for $35 a month, you can get one coffee a week, or that gives you 4, X whatever coffees that you sell. And I'm helping push that product. Well, for every membership, I get a percentage every time they make their membership payment. You see, I just attach myself to revenue, but you're the one who actually bought the building and bought the beams and all that other stuff. I'm getting paid as long as they keep making their membership payments.
Just have that in the contract.
So you have it in the contract, and that's what a lot of small business owners are willing to do. But you have to be developed as a sales professional in order to go out and do those type of things. So that's what I've been able to do. I've been able to attach myself to different revenue streams. And I didn't even start the business. I just helped them promote whatever it is that they're doing. And then for every person that comes in and makes their monthly payment or their quarterly payment, a portion of that comes to me. So that's how I'm able to attach to different things, and that's where the streams come in.
I think that's a great lesson that a lot of people probably never thought about it like that.
Sure.
They always think all or nothing. Like I had to be an employee, or I just had to be a complete entrepreneur built from the ground up. They don't think about that middle ground, like you mentioned, the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Most millionaires in this country, I think last year there were 500 new millionaires. Most of them did not start a business. Most of them did not start a business. They probably had a main gig that they did, and they partnered with other people to do other things. So I think entrepreneurship is wonderful. I love it. I think it's probably, a lot of people need to I know a lot of people that have really seriously considered doing that, but you don't have to be an entrepreneur to become a millionaire. You don't have to. You just you have to know what type of partnerships you need to have if you want to get involved in different industries, and you don't have to take on all those costs. Again, business is about money. Sales is about money. If Myers doesn't bring in new revenue, they're not going to be open for quite longer. And they're not going to close the doors as soon as they didn't make any money today. But if there's there's time that goes by and they don't bring in any money or as much money as they need, before they start closing those doors, they're going to let some people go. They're going to cut people's hours, cut people's pay. There's things that they're going to do before they actually start firing people and before they start closing the doors. So business is about money. Right.
Business is about revenue. How can I attach myself to revenue without taking on all the responsibilities and the weight of becoming a business owner? And that's why I think being a sales professional can help an individual able to do that.
Dude, that is a great way you explain that.
Sure.
All right, now Justin, tell me about some of your mentors, maybe living or dead, maybe some people you listen to right now, some of the greats. What are people who generally inspire you, as broad as that is? It can be people in your local neighborhood. It could be people you maybe like you watch and you see them building their own dreams online that you follow and learn from.
I mean, it's a lot, man. I have a lot of people that I listen to, a lot of mentors that I've come across. One mentor that I have is obviously my pastor, Pastor Andrea Ellis. And I've watched her go through some things in her own life personally, and how she's been able to climb out on top, her grit, her fight. That's something I definitely admire. Grant Cardone. Oh, yes. Grant Cardone, the ultimate sales guy. Not even just sales. It's just, I've had, a few conversations with Grant, and he's, if you don't like straight talk, you don't want Grant to be a mentor. Right. And he's going to give it to you straight, what you need to do. This is where you need to go. And, I remember one conversation I had on when I was kind of in a financial situation. He says, well, Justin, you're not committed to money. If you're committed to money, you would start looking for opportunities to make money. And that's when at that moment, I knew I was not serious about making money. I wanted a job, but you weren't committed to making money. You see, most companies are not really looking to make you a six-figure earner. Yep. So I knew in order for me to get six figures, I had to go out there and get it. And it's out there. There's a lot of people who have the money. You haven't done the math. You want to make six figures? What is it that you need to do in order to get there? So, really straight conversations that I've had with him. He's helped me develop as a sales professional, just as a business person. Bishop T.D. Jakes. He has, he's another person, businessman, man of God that I listen to, and I definitely value things that he says. So it's a lot of different people. And there's a lot of different people in between. Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, and, a lot of people that I've listened to. But I mentioned those people, particularly Grant and Bishop Jakes, because I'm all for positive thinking. I'm all for positive talk. The Secrets to Success and Bob Proctor and all these different great people. But Grant, I really value Grant because Grant says, hey, these are the steps. It's one thing for me to tell you, Hayward, start thinking like a successful person. That's all well and good, and I was doing that. Right. But nobody showed me what to do. How do I believe I can make $1 million. Where do I get started? What do I need to do? And that's what I started looking as a sales professional and looking at different areas where I can get involved in. And that's when it started. So like I said, everybody's great. I definitely hold value to everybody in the industry of, personal development and all those different types of things. But Grant and Bishop Jakes in particular, because they talk about the action. This is what the action is. This is what you need to do. It's more than just positive thinking. And I like positive talk. I love positive thinking. But at some point, you got to get off your butt and go do something. And this is what you need to do, and this is how you do it. Yeah. And that's what I needed at that particular moment in my life. So that's why, those are two individuals in particular, along with everybody else that I mentioned, that I really, regard and respect.
And I just wanted to touch on that because I know Bishop T.D. Jakes, he's been around for a very long time. Sure. And, I've been following since I was younger. And I didn't know I know he has a lot of stuff he's doing with OWN Network and different things like that. He's very practical. I've seen he's very practical, actionable. But I think you were one of the first people to put me on Grant Cardone. Yeah. Him and Peter Voog. Yeah. And I've actually gotten on to Cardone University recently. Good. So I'm learning and just learning the practical stuff. And those that don't know Grant Cardone, he's a really big real estate investor tycoon, sales professional, runs an entire business empire out of Miami, Florida. And I learned a whole lot from him. And I just wanted to commend you on talking to Grant. I know I heard you on one of the podcasts.
Yeah. That was great. That was a funny week because I had a lot of good some deals had closed, and I had gotten some things done, and I talked to him earlier that week. He said, hey, why don't you call in on the show? Tell us all about it.
So are you like on the platinum pass where you get like a call with him each week?
Yeah, you get like, it's like a mentorship thing that he does with Cardone U.
Is it a call each month or each week?
Just probably once a month.
Oh, okay.
Just one conversation. It was more, and then I shot him the email about all the things that I've been doing, and as I said, call in on the show, and I called and I shared with him, what I was able to do, and we're gonna keep going. But for everybody out there, Grant Cardone is the man. He is definitely the man, and he'll help get you straight for sure.
Okay. Now, Justin, we're going to get into a couple of other deeper questions.
Sure.
Do you ever find yourself or catching yourself sometimes comparing yourself to other people's success or those who are at a level you haven't reached yet?
I used to be, but I think more so when I was trying to make it. You see people who are your age and they don't work as hard as you, but things just happen to go their way, and you're like, yo, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Not so much anymore, because now, again, Bishop Jakes and, Pastor Andrea and Bishop Ivy Hilliard out of Houston, Texas, they really did a good job of helping me understand, like, you have to run your race. That's their lane.
Yeah.
You don't know, I think one conversation I had with my pastor, Pastor Andrea, she said, you don't know what they did or didn't do to get to where they're at right now. Because we see the success, but I don't know what kind of time that individual put into it. So when you look at it from that retrospect, then, yeah, absolutely. There's no reason to compare. Everyone has to run their own race. And so I probably say I used to, not so much anymore. I think now it's more so like, okay, what's the next level? I try to get around people that are doing like ridiculous things, like things that just seem impossible to the average person. And if I can just get around that type of energy, then I know I'm going to have the energy to and the motivation to do the things that I'm trying to do. So if you make $100 million and you and I are spending time together having conversations, you can leave. I figure I can make a couple bucks. I figure I'm
just in your vicinity.
Something's
got to happen.
I figure I can make a couple bucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you make $100 million, I can at least make 10.
Right.
Can I make 5 or 10? So I just try to keep it simplistic like that.
Right.
But not so much anymore. To answer your question, not so much anymore. Now it's just really looking at people. Okay, that's the bar. That's the next level. I need to get there. I'm not trying. Grant's my mentor, but I'm not trying to start a sales academy. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. But I will try to help people get good at sales, but I'm not trying to open up a sales platform. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Right, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. That's not what I want to do. But he's helping me. He helped me develop skill sets so I can position myself to be able to do certain things. And you just want to add this real quick. The reason I took the opportunity with Detroit Public Schools is because I understand that everybody's talking, obviously downtown Detroit is doing a lot of great things, but that's because it's in the financial interest of the people who are investing in downtown.
Exactly.
Because people ask, why hasn't these things been out in the neighborhoods? Because it's not in their financial best interest to invest in the neighborhoods. So what has to happen is that we need people who have succeeded or are succeeding to come back and teach people who are willing to listen, because not everybody's willing to listen, and willing to listen about how to create different income opportunities for themselves. Those are the conversations that need to happen. And if we can start getting people to earn more money in these areas of Detroit and Pontiac and all these different areas that have been hurt by the economy, that is when the city's going to turn around. So you can't wait for Dan Gilbert or Magic Johnson to come save your neighborhood.
Right.
You have to save your neighborhood. And in order to do that, you're going to have to start thinking totally differently about money, thinking totally different about business, thinking totally different about success. And in order to do that, you need those type of people who are having those successes to come back and teach you. And that's kind of that's probably the main reason I took on the project with Detroit Public Schools, because, you know, we have to get that changed.
Great point. I think you touched on a lot of great things as far as like people having the power within themselves. I remember you did a Facebook blog video about, you know, the powers within you. God gave us the power and permission to get rich,
right,
and get wealthy and help our communities. So I think that was a great point. Instead of waiting for the big person to come in and save your life, it's like you can take action on it.
And God has already ordered our steps. He knows the purpose that He's given us. He knows what we need to do in order to get where we're trying to go. But when He says, "I've given you the power to get wealth," that means I have given you the capability to establish wealth in your life. So once we recognize that capability, start doing things to activate that capability, God will start placing people and opportunities in your path. You see, there's no way I could have taken advantage of Detroit Public Schools had I not learned how to be a sales professional, had I not learned how to tap into different income streams. There's no way I wouldn't be able to teach it. I don't know it. So I think once we start walking in certain areas, God says, okay, they're ready for this now. Because He can't give it to you if you're not ready.
Right.
So you have to be ready. And that's why I think it's important.
Okay. Now, what would you say, and this is kind of the piggyback off of comparing disparate conditions, what would you say to like other younger millennials out there that are still trying to get established, figure things out, you know, find their life purpose, that sort of thing?
Just for those millennials that are still trying to figure out what they want to do?
Yeah, or just people out there, like, they're listening, they have a 9-to-5, they're not really sure how to take that first step.
Well, I'd probably say, for you know, I've mentioned it before, that if they're trying to figure it out and figure out what steps they need to take, I'd probably say they need to start getting personal development. Because I think up until that point, the reason they haven't done anything is they probably subconsciously believe they can't do it. So I think they need to start working on their own personal development first and foremost. So if you have a 9-to-5, you know you need to make more money. You know the money they're paying you is not enough. You know that once you pay your bills, there's nothing left. What is it that I need to do? You know that you retire in the next 20 years. You know you don't have any money put away. What do I need to do? I tell these people, you need to develop as a sales professional. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You could get a second job. You can join a network marketing company. And there's a lot of slight that people have for network marketing. We can definitely address
bust some myths.
Yeah, we can definitely bust a lot of myths.
Right.
So you can join a network marketing company. You can get a second job. You can sell some stuff. There's enough things that you can do to get you started. But I'd probably say develop as a sales professional, because that is what's going to allow you, at whatever it is you decide to do, attach yourself to revenue. And also see if you can do anything more at your current job. What else can you do within that 9-to-5 time period that can make you an extra $500,000 a check? What else can you do beyond what you're doing right now? Can you set up the floor? Can you do this? Can you do that? What else can you do? So those are things that I would probably tell new millennials to start doing, because the economy has changed. We can't wait, and I'm not saying don't look for a job, but what I am saying is you can't depend on that one job to help you get where you're trying to go. I mean, I'll be 31 at the end of this month, and I already know Social Security is not going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
So why am I don't even reference it, because I don't think it's going to be there when I get to 65 years old. It's not. So one thing that I'm learning right now is tax structure. How can I increase my income using the tax laws? You know, I made a post on Facebook the other day how everyone was upset about Donald Trump not paying taxes. Oh, well, see, that's what the media and society wants you to think. They want you to get mad at him because he doesn't pay taxes, because they have caused you to believe that you're not really a true American if you don't pay taxes. Well, all he's done is that he's learned within the laws how to get out of paying certain things. Mm-hmm. So instead of being jealous, again, they want to keep you in that middle income thinking. Yep. Rich people know the rules. It's middle income people that know the rules. Yep. So that's why they want you to be upset with the rich guy. Now, he's done unquestionable things. That's a whole separate issue. Right. But I'm talking about that particular statement. Mm-hmm. They want you to be mad at him because he won't show his tax records. The reason he won't show his tax records is because he understands that simple-minded middle-income people are not going to understand why he's not paying this, that, or whatever. And they're using that. The other side is using your ignorance to cause you to be upset with him. See, I asked a totally different question. I'm like, man, well, how does he do it? How does he do it? How is he getting out of that? He makes $1 billion. Right. So I know if he ever got in trouble financially, not paying the IRS, they're going to come after him before they come after me. Right. You know, so how can I do it at my level? So that's what I'm learning right now. So hopefully here in the next few months I can maybe come back on the show and maybe share some of that information. But I'm learning about and again, join a network marketing company. You could write off so much stuff, even if you don't make any money, as long as you are active. If you have a company where you have to make your life insurance premiums or your auto ship payments, do you know you could write off the entire thing? All the trips and conferences that your company holds for network marketing, you can write off the hotel, the rental car, the plane ticket, the train ticket. It's a beautiful thing. It's everything you can write off. If you lease a car, you can write off your lease. Or you can write off your lease payments because you're in network marketing. It's a lot of things that you can, and you didn't even have to take on a second job. All you did was you went to work, changed your exemptions, joined a network marketing company, again, I'm not a tax person. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just telling you what successful people that I learn and mentor from have disclosed to me that I have started to do. So those are just a few things I'm still learning. So hopefully, probably here in the next few months, we'll be able to have an even more in-depth discussion. And I would like to be able to point your listeners in the right direction to people that can help them do that. So that's really what I'm going. I believe my goal is to learn. As I learn, I teach other people because I think that's my purpose in life. As I've learned, I also teach. So that's very important to me.
All right. Now, Justin, what would you say, or maybe we touched earlier on just the circumstances you went through coming to Michigan, getting this great corporate job with the Pistons, and the economy taking a downturn. Were there any other big setbacks or maybe failures you may have came across, and how did you say faith brought you through those dark times?
That was probably the biggest ones. As I started as an entrepreneur, I made a lot of mistakes. I remember one particular situation where I was looking at a house. I thought I could wholesale it and flip it and all these great things, fix and flip, if you will. And I looked at the house, and the houses like this house that I had were selling for like well over $100,000, and I got it for like $60,000, and I thought it only needed about $15,000 in repairs. I'm like, yo, man, I can go all in for $75,000, and I can sell it for $120,000. That's a nice little deal, flip that I could do. But the house that I was looking at needed a down payment. It was it was a Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac house. Oh, okay. So it's a government house. The government owns it right now. So it needed a couple $1,000. I can't remember, I think $1 to $3 or something like that. Okay. So I put in the money, and I was like, okay, man, this is going to be a great deal. Well, as I did more research, I found out that this house was not a brick house. It was a siding house. And it was the brick house that was selling at that price. And I said, okay, well, how much are the siding houses selling for? The siding houses, this is the only one in the area. So I had nothing to compare it to. And it was behind like an animal hospital or something. So the location was horrible. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had a no refund policy. So I lost $3,000 trying to do something. So I don't think I've had any, quote unquote, outside of, but those tough times that I told you, they lasted a few years. So especially these last 3 years, I'm really getting to a point where I'm starting to climb out of that. And I'm starting to have some wins. See, that goes back to what my pastor told me. You can't just assume everything was all gravy for that person. We don't know what they went through to get where they're trying to go. So someone might look at me and be like, yo, man, he's doing a lot, he's doing this. But that tough stretch lasted from like 2009 all the way to about 2014.
Wow.
Late
5 years.
Yeah, late 2013. Early 2014, probably about the end of 2013.
Where you were just like tweaking, trial, error.
Yeah, a lot of trial, error, man. I worked at Enterprise at one point, and it just was really, you weren't making a lot of money, and, it was tough, man. So I got let go from there, and I had another job. I got let go from there. So just trying to figure out. I remember for about over a year and a half at one point, I was working at Costco, the early morning shift, in the freezer. And I went to college. I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't.
Yeah, your degree.
But I have my degree. I'm working with people that they just went to high school. They just went to high school, maybe community college or.
What did that feel like? What did that feel like for
it
you?
sucked, man, because it's like, how in the world did I get here? You gotta get up early and you're in the freezer, trying to stock shelves, trying to make it, and like I said, I'm just now getting to a point where I'm starting to have some wins. But, like I said before, man, I learned you can't judge where that person's at today because you have no idea what they had to deal with to get to this point.
Yeah, not even professionally, but even personally. They got a family member that was sick and cared for and then sending them money. And, sometimes we just see things through our own lens.
Right.
And then the social media glorifying making everything look perfect. We don't know.
And then,
we don't know.
And even on the other side of it, you can't get too successful that you just disregard what people are going through. Because it wasn't that long ago. I remember one time I was listening to Bishop Jakes. He was talking about homelessness in the spirit. But before he went to the spiritual perspective, he talked about it from the natural perspective. He said homelessness is a subject that most people like to not discuss in this country. But homelessness is a very real thing. In fact, most Americans are 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves.
I didn't know that.
Most Americans, probably the majority of this country, I think it's like 80% or something, a good portion of this country are 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves. So before you start looking your nose down on someone, understand that if your job stopped paying you tomorrow, where would you be? So when I heard that, I was like, oh, man, I can't have anybody have that kind of power over me. I need to learn how to create. I need to learn how to create income streams. And that's one of the things because once you go through that thing, you realize, okay, I went through that, but I never want to deal with that again. So what do I need to do to totally avoid ever dealing with that ever again? And that's what caused me to learn. Had I not gone through that, I'd probably just be like everybody else, trying to, find a job and work and move up the corporate ladder and, so. But anyway, that's probably what I would say is, we don't know what that person had to deal with, and and then when you do make it, understand that they're going through their thing. So just try to be as supportive and helpful as you can to help them through that process.
And be happy for others.
Yeah, and be happy for others, man. There's plenty of money out here, man. I don't get jealous when somebody makes money. Money is just a tool. There's plenty of money out here. Everybody just has different irrigation techniques to get it. Yours might be over here, mine's just over here. Why would I be jealous of you making $10,000 when the very thing is capable for me over here doing what I'm doing? I just maybe need to sharpen up on some skills, maybe get a different bucket, maybe help me partner with somebody else so I can get more of it, and whatever it is you need to do. So, but yeah.
Justin, how impactful do you feel is the power of authenticity? What does that definition mean?
It's authentic, being different, being original. I think it's very, very important. Like I said, for me personally, I don't, at least not so much anymore, I really don't just tell people to start your own business. And, you know, there are people who, you can start a business and do very, very well. I know people who have started businesses and done very well. But that's not the only path to success. What I do tell people, even as a business owner who's successful, they even understand, I got to get something else going. I got to create another stream of income.
I never thought about that.
You know what I'm saying? Even they know that. So I'm not telling you to go open up a business. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I think it's wonderful. But what I try to get people to understand, my authenticity, is, hey, listen, I know you have a 9 to 5. I know you got bills. I know you got kids. I know you got all these things you're trying to take care of. What I am telling you is, wherever it is you're working, don't depend on that one income. You need to find streams. And the quickest way to find streams and get attached to revenue is to get good at sales. Because now you're adding value to someone else's business. So now you can get in on the ground floor of a lot of different businesses here in the area. You help them push their product or service. You say, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to put you on to this vendor. If they like your product, they're going to order maybe $10,000 worth from you every month. I would like a revenue share every time they make their monthly payment. Obviously, you pay the bills, but let's say it's $10,000. I'd like to at least get, sometimes you're able to negotiate, 20% of the gross, 20% of the net. Whatever it is you're able to negotiate with that person in that business, I think is great. So now you close that, you introduce them, you brought them together, they end up doing business. Now what? They make their $10,000 a month payment. You make $2,000 every month, every time that company pays that business. And you only did it one time. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I do this 8 more times, 10 more times? So now you're actually working. You're developing your sales skills. So when someone turns you down, man, I should have said this, I should have said that.
Right.
Now they love you because you're bringing them business. The vendor loves you because you're bringing him a quality product or service. You love it because they close the deal and you're getting money from it, and you continue to get money from it. They want to keep the business. Everybody wins. But the way to get in on that is to develop as a sales professional. And I think that's my authenticity, to show people, hey, start a business, but even if you don't want to do that, there's other ways you can get it done.
Okay. Now we're about to hit the lightning round. Okay. First question, favorite book?
The 10X Grant Cardone.
10X Grant Cardone. All right. Top 1 or 2 inspirational films?
Pursuit of Happiness. And inspirational films. Oh, man.
Rudy?
No, not Rudy. Everyone always says Rudy. Pursuit of Happiness and inspired. What movie inspires?
Remember the Titans.
Man, not really, man.
It could just be one.
I'd probably say Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. That was the movie. I think I relate to it because I didn't sleep in a bathroom, but I could feel his distress through the screen. I understood that. I understood what that's like to some degree. So that was a very inspirational movie, and to see him climb out of that, I think it was awesome.
Awesome. iPhone or Android?
Android.
Android, why?
It's just easier to use, man. I mean, it's more compatible with a lot of different chargers. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. iPhones, I mean, it's like they're changing every time. Apple has done a very good job branding. So they make you think that you need to buy the next one.
Yeah, it's that consumerism, you know.
Yeah.
Now, even though I have an iPhone, you can see I'm a few generations behind.
Right.
I'm just not like every 6 months got to get the new one.
Right.
You know.
But even from that standpoint, you know, again, when we talk about income, you know, increasing your income, most people, I mean, think about it. Think about those people that tell you, hey, Hayward, if you don't buy coffee for the next 12 months, you'll save $500. So?
And save it in the bank.
I'm still broke.
Right.
I'm still broke, and I'm older. So it's like, it didn't help me. So Grant told me this, Justin, you don't have a saving problem. You don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem. You need to increase your income. That's what he told me.
Yeah, but I think too many people get caught up in that, you know, save $3 a day with a coffee.
It's complete nonsense.
It's going the whole rant on that.
It's complete nonsense.
Yeah. Now, is there anything that still makes you feel uncomfortable, and is that a good thing?
Yeah, getting into businesses I really don't know a lot about, you know, but I see potential. Like right now, I've me and a gentleman, good friend of mine, mentor, I can't believe I didn't mention him, Paul Rozier. He's actually a $1 million earner in one network marketing company, and he's looking to branch off into something else. Me and him met a couple months back, and we partnered with a company where they work in credit card processing. I've only understood credit card processing from the standpoint of me walking into a place and swiping it and, you know, putting the chip in and, you know, buying what it is, whatever it is that I'm buying. But what we saw was we recognized that society is moving to a cashless society. So whenever you pay for anything, you always pay with debit card. Debit card, credit card. So what happens is I have a friend of mine who used to work in credit card processing where he sold the machines. He sold the machines and he tried to save him money, whatever. This company we're partnered with is a lot different. What they do, digital pay, what we do is that we guarantee a business to save money. If we can't save them money on their processing, we'll give them $500. So that's I've never seen guarantees before.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. That really got my attention. The other thing that got my attention was we save them money, guarantee we'll save them money in their credit card processing, and once we set them up, and the equipment is free, guaranteed savings, free equipment. So now, once they get set up, we give them a 45-day trial. If you're not saving money, if these equipment is too much a hassle, give it back, and you can use your equipment you were using before. So that's two things. The third one was interesting. We get a percentage off of all the credit card transactions that they do within that business. Again, remember what I said about income streams?
Right.
So now I can tell someone and say, yeah, I'm in the coffee business. Do I have beans? No. Do I have cups? No. I was able to save a guy I knew money on his credit card, debit card processing, and every time his customers swipe, I get some of that money. So that's a great business. We're still working out a couple of the final details. We're doing a seminar for a lot of small businesses that do a lot of credit card and debit card transactions, and we're also addressing other things that they have to do with, like access to capital, marketing issues, sales, you know, those type of things. And you know, I'm really excited about it because as a entrepreneur, I know that people are moving into that, and I want to be involved in that area. And I think it's a great opportunity. So to answer your question, yes, I am very nervous about getting into that because I never looked at it in that much detail. But I think it'd be very, very beneficial for sure.
Okay. And as far as our next questions, I just was kind of blown away by your answer. Do you ever, once in a while, have those off days? Or is there something you're always looking to improve upon?
Yeah, everybody can improve. So I think I'm looking to improve on. I want to be a better coach to my players. I coach high school football. I want to get to the, right now I'm only able to do 3 or 4 days a week. If I can get to the gym at least an extra 2 days, that'd be awesome. I'm always, just trying to stay healthy, man. As you start to take advantage of different opportunities and different projects and different income streams, you got to be healthy so you can, actually be functional and take advantage of them, So that's one thing that I'm always trying to obviously improve upon. So here in the next few months, fatherhood would be something I'm trying to improve upon, or I'm getting to do. So so I think that was probably your second question. What things kind of get fatherhood. Being responsible for another person. But I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Now, how important do you feel, Justin, is the management of time?
Management of time is very important. You know why? Because part of the things that really got me wanting to achieve success and live a purpose-driven life and, bring in enough income where I can help other people and help change people's situations was because there was a part of time in college where I had a lot of friends who were dying for a lot of crazy things. And we were all the same age. And their time ran out. So I think one of the things that, one of the unfortunate things when I hear people who, commit suicide, those type of things, I'm not a doctor by any means, but I believe when it comes to things like that, people who commit suicide, they've lost their purpose. See, when you know you have a reason for being here, and you have a reason you're here to impact people, doing things like suicide is very difficult. Because you think about all the people that you're letting down. Because people who commit suicide are really only thinking about themselves. Whether they're doing it purposely or non-purposely, whether they're doing it on purpose or not on purpose, they're thinking about themselves at that moment. So if we get able to look at our purpose and we're like, man, I'm supposed to help people do this and help people do that, whatever issue that you're dealing with at that moment, it makes it more difficult to throw in the towel. And that's what allows you to keep going for tomorrow. I could have easily quit, packed up, went back to Dallas, and just packed it up. But Dallas is a great city. Love going to go visit. That's home, man. But, I don't know a lot of people having a lot of money troubles in Dallas. There's a lot of people I can help here in Detroit.
We don't have enough people like you to
most people don't want to stay in Detroit.
Oh yeah, it's trendy to flock. It's like going to LA, doing this.
My mom used to work with people who are from Detroit, and she tell them, my son lives in Michigan or Detroit. Why is he up there? That's always the question. And sometimes when people hear that I'm from Texas, they're like, why are you here? What on earth brought you to Michigan? See, they don't understand
the
purpose.
Opportunity
and purpose.
The Anchor of Diamonds. Have you ever seen that one? With
no.
Earl Nightingale. Yeah, look that up.
Okay.
And that really shifted me some perspective because, I started looking at other opportunities outside of Michigan. I was interviewing, actually with a bank in Chicago. And
there's nothing wrong with moving.
Right.
Nothing wrong with moving. It's just that, and 5 years and I see an opportunity to go back to Dallas or Houston, and I think it's going to be in the best benefit of me trying to get where I'm trying to go so I can touch more people and obviously raise my family to a different financial level. Then sure, I'm going to take it. Right. But again, the Bible says, God says, I will rebuild the wastelands. I think Detroit is starting to rebuild. At one point in time, Detroit was considered a wasteland. So I think it's starting to rebuild. But I think there are certain pockets in Detroit that have been ignored. And in order for those areas to get where they're trying to go, people have to rise up and want to take it and want to help those areas rise up. And that's why I do what I do. Even if I'm in a room full of 100 people, if 5 of them said, man, we're going to do that, then I think I've done my part.
Awesome. Now, tell us about some exciting things you got coming up in 2017. I know you mentioned the credit card processing.
Yeah.
Anything else with Lakeview, or is that
Lakeview's a little. I kind of made some changes with Lakeview, and here's why I made those changes. Mm-hmm. With Lakeview Capital, I found it challenging. When you know what I know when it comes to real estate, sometimes it's very difficult to work through people's lack of knowledge in those areas. So if I know this is a good deal, and you're the one with the money, you might say, you know what, Justin, this isn't a good deal. I'm just not comfortable doing it. What happens is two things. Either you are just fearful of losing your money, or I haven't done a good enough job of explaining to you how this is a good deal. So what we're doing right now is me and my business partners, we're raising our own money to start doing our own deals.
Okay.
So from that standpoint, once we start raising our own money to do our own deals, as far as the large-scale deals, because we did one in Killeen, Texas, we did one in Detroit and Killeen, Texas. But we have deals that come up on the table, but we haven't been able to raise enough money. If it needed $1 million, we were always $750,000 short. And I'm sorry, we only raised $750,000. We needed $500,000. We always got the $300,000. It was always that shortage. So we're still looking at deals and still working with different individuals to help them put their money inside of real estate. But what I have found is when we have our own money to do our own deals, that is what's going to allow us to get to our next level because now we already have the knowledge and we can start doing our own deals. So we're still doing things in Lakeview Capital, but we've kind of taken a step back a little bit because we want to get we want to put our own we want to build our own war chest, if you will, so we can go out and attack at our level. And then once we have those other additional wins on top of the two that we have, we can start doing bigger and bigger things. And then also, what I've also found interesting about real estate, it was difficult for me to do the large deals because obviously buying a rent house is good, but apartments is the way to go because you're able to scale. See, so if you have that one house and that family moves out of that one house, who has to pay the mortgage when that family moves out?
You do.
You do. And you don't have the income from those people, so you really must have to reach in your own pocket to pay it. So when you get an apartment building or buildings, you're able to scale. So if one or two people move out, doesn't matter. You still have enough rent to do whatever it is that you need to do. So another thing that I'm doing is I'm learning how to partner with other people on their apartment deals. So someone is doing an apartment deal and it's maybe $5 million. If I came to the table with $100,000, I'm still going to get my cash flow. Again, how did you get to $100,000? I implemented different income streams and I saved the money. I don't spend it. One of the things that Grant taught me was you got to put away 40% of your money. That's tough.
It is.
Most people can't even put away 10% of their money. But this is a trick. If you go back to the Great Depression, this is something a lot of wealthy individuals do. They maintain their standard of living. They get all this new money coming in, and they just park it in an account that they don't even have access to. I have money in like 2 accounts that I don't even have a debit card to because I don't trust myself. I don't even want that money to be an option. So when someone tells me, hey, Justin, you got $500, I don't have it. I really don't have it because I don't even have access to that money. So I don't get debit cards. I mean, I might look at it from time to time, but I've set up my deals with different companies as far as sales. When I get paid, that money goes straight over there. I don't even see it in some cases. I just make sure it went to that account. So that's what I've learned how to do. Park 40% of your money. Because if you made $60,000 this year.
I have to write some of this down.
I'll give you a quick lesson here.
Okay.
If you made $60,000 this year, what is it that the people have told you? They've told you to save 10%. Or save 10%. That's what everybody says, right? All right, $60,000. 10% of $60,000 is what? That's $6,000 for the year. That's not a lot of money. All right? But $60,000 times 40%, that's $24,000. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now, you got to be extremely disciplined when you do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's something I need to still work on.
Yeah, it's extreme. Even well, just what if I can't do 40? Do 30.
Mm-hmm.
What if I can't do 30? Do 25. Mm-hmm. But you got to do more than 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I've learned how to do. So whenever we get new money, new income opportunities, I just put that money away. You know why? Because I want to be able to raise enough money where I can go and do my own real estate deals myself, or I can partner with someone else. Partnership is not always a bad thing, because now if you invest $250,000 and that $250,000 that you invested with another gentleman who's doing real estate deals, you know him, you trust him, you've seen his body of work, and you're giving him $250,000, that $250,000 is making you $40,000 a year. It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
You're making you $40,000 a year. That's not bad. And you don't have any of the risks. Your name's not on the note. All you do, you let him do it. You just brought money to the table.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to do it.
To have money working for you.
Yeah. You know, this is my 401k. Everybody who's listening on this show, if you got a 401k, go get it. Take it out. It's not doing you any good. Do something with it. Because think about it. Your money is with some company who you don't even know these people. You don't even know these people. You have no idea who these people are. Right. And everybody who has, I got a financial advisor. I had one guy tell me, Jessica, I'm a financial advisor. I said, all right, great. I need you to go ask him this. Hey, John, Lisa, whatever your financial advisor's name is, what do I need to do to make $1 million a year? If they look at you like you're crazy, or they don't have a plan, or not even willing to create a plan for you to make $1 million a year, get rid of them. Because they are not interested in making you rich. They want you to be, what is it they always say? You need to put away this much so you can live at the same standard of living that you want to live now. Who wants to do that? Who wants to start working at you're 25, you retire at 65, and you're living as if you're making $50,000 a year? Who wants to do that?
Right,
I'm 65 now. I should have enough money to where I can go wherever I want. I want to enjoy my latter years. I don't want to just live the same way I'm living now. And even then, it's not going to be enough because you don't work. You're probably going to eat more. You're probably going to do more stuff because you have more free time. It's not enough money. $50,000 a year is nothing. $100,000 a year is nothing. Everybody should be committed to becoming a millionaire where you net $1 million a year or a multi-millionaire minimum. So that's what I think people should really, really focus on. Another thing that we have going on right now, I'm still putting together the plans. I helped a couple gentlemen guys that I know who are in the NFL. Kind of gave them some pointers on things they can do with their money. They saw it really beneficial, so I'm actually doing a project called Athlete Economics, where we help a lot of young NFL players get their money working, because I was surprised that they told me, like, dude, don't they teach you guys money principles in the NFL? He's like, no, they don't teach us anything. So we're going to do Athlete Economics, where we teach, the low-level draft picks on, what they need to do with their money. So I'm very, very excited about that, and hopefully as we get going, we'll be able to work with the higher level draft picks. But I mean, if you're a low level draft pick, practice squad guy, barely made the team, you're not going to be making a ton of money like the guys, the superstars.
Right.
So, but you make more money than the average person. So you need to learn what you need. You need to learn some money things. So in case you get cut, hurt, released, you have some plans to do with that $500,000 that you made while you were with the NFL, or that $1 million that you ended up making. So you need to have those plans in place, and that's what we're going to be doing at the beginning of 2017.
And I think that's a great program, because especially since you came from the football world.
Exactly.
And then I think the average NFL pro career is like 3 years.
3.5 years. Yep.
Yeah, that's not a lot of time to accumulate wealth and to even focus on doing that, because they're busy playing football.
Right. And just just kind of get them to learn different things that they need to do with their money. And, I'm definitely excited about that. But as far as what we have going on, those are the two major things that we have going on.
Okay. All right. And now, the Oakland County Cash Flow game.
Yes.
And starting that, what was the idea behind that? I know it's like, small local event you do just to get people thinking about income streams.
Really, it wasn't really anything monumentous. It's just like, you know what? Yeah. I learned a lot about money by playing this game. I know a lot of people are in the same situation I'm in, just kind of holding on to their job and middle income. And, I've learned how to do different things by playing this game. I saw that nobody was doing it in the area. And that's when I just started doing it once a month. Second Saturday every month. There's nothing strenuous. I just meet up at the locals Panera Bread. People from different parts of Troy and Rochester and wherever it is that they're from. They come out and they play the game, and they always have a new perspective on their money. They learn how to keep an income statement and learn how to see what comes in, what comes out, and they start to realize, like, man, I can't create. Even the ones that don't get out of the rat race, they see that, like, yo, man, I can't create additional income because obviously they don't know how to do it. They have fears about doing it. They have an issue working with other people because think about it. Society has taught us to only think about ourselves. How much do I get paid? When is my vacation? How much overtime do I get? Am I going to get a raise? Do you give me benefits? How much do you contribute to my retirement? So once you stuff on that self-thinking, you don't think about how to work with other people. You don't know how to work with other people. You don't know how to, I know a guy who came to my event. He works at Costco. Obviously he works at Costco, him and three other guys. They decided to start a business together. They all put in money and and the one guy who doesn't have a job, he works full time there. So they're able to put in enough money and he collects a little bit of a salary so he can live off the business. And while they're working at their jobs, they have somebody on the inside working the business on their behalf. And obviously on weekends, everybody's able to come by and put in more time and stuff like that. But see, that's true partnership. They learn how to work with each other so they can create different income streams. And that's really what the game is all about. And that's what you'll learn. You'll learn a lot about money. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You learn that you really don't know how to keep track of money.
Right.
And that's really, you got to understand what's coming in, what's going out. How does this loan change what I have going on? Because some people think, I just need the best business opportunity. But they don't know what they do with it when they get it. They don't understand that, all debt is not bad. Debt is like anything else. I have a car. You have a car. I can use that car to drive me to work. Obviously, it's very beneficial.
Yeah.
I can use a car to run somebody over. That's the way I look at it. That's how debt is. If you don't use debt properly, it'll hurt you. If you use it properly, you'll make a lot of money.
Right.
So, that's what we do with Oakland County Cash Flow. We get people to start thinking differently about money and really start thinking differently about themselves in terms of money.
All right. And I've actually, gone to the event several times. That's how me and Justin first met. And it's definitely, even with me, I'm studying, in financial services, working hard, learning a lot, and even coming to one of those games, playing that game. If you haven't had a chance, look at Robert Kiyosaki Cash Flow Quadrant.
Sure.
And look up Cash Flow 101 game. And it'll just give you another great perspective, like a different perspective on income streams and real estate. Now, what are, as we wrap down here, what are some things you do to grow on a daily basis?
As far as growth and development, I always try to listen to what my next goals are. Never lose sight of what the goal is. So I'm always listening. I do audiobooks all the time. I have my audiobooks that help me get my thinking and my mindset down. But I also like the audiobooks where we focus on action. What is it I need to do today to create those opportunities? So that's what I do as of right now.
Okay. And what is your vision 3-5 years out? What do you see as your vision? Where do you see yourself in your family, your business?
The next 3 to 5 years, I'd like to be still working with different schools in Detroit public schools. Right. Definitely look to have more schools under contract and start teaching their high schoolers about about personal finance and entrepreneurship. Definitely love to do that. I would definitely love to be in a situation where I can start taking what I learn and start teaching it specifically to people in churches. Because what I've noticed is that, in the body of Christ, we don't have a problem. Here we go. It's a conversation I had with somebody. I was talking with a guy the other day. It's like, isn't it funny how we, as a body of Christ, we keep saying how, this celebrity or that celebrity needs prayer, but they're the ones who are having all the success. Yeah. I think the body of Christ is notorious for, running around a church and the pastor gives a word, a true word, mind you, about what God is going to do for you, which I think is great. Everybody loves a good word from the Lord, but what are you doing to put action behind it? I know a lot of people in the body of Christ who I've attended church with, and throughout the years, who have been given a word, thinking that there's something that they're supposed to do, but they haven't done it. So, and then the other part of it is, as a church, well, we're always talking about the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's and they got all that money, and we try to justify they must have got that success from not doing the right thing, or they must have got it for
they're just talented. That's that boring talent.
That's that worldly people. So, and we praying for them. We're praying for them, and they're the ones who are doing their thing. Whether you agree with it or not, they're doing what they feel that they need to do. So the reason I brought up the body of Christ is because I feel like God has given us the power to get wealth, but we don't have the knowledge to go and get it. We're waiting for God to do something, and you have to. Grant used to tell me, or he still tells me, Justin, you gotta know. You gotta know. Once you find a good investment, put all your money on it, because you know this thing is gonna work. Because you've looked at it from the worst case scenario. A tornado blows through there. This many people move out. The history. You've looked at everything, and you know I'm still gonna make money. Once you know, put all your money in it. We don't know in the body of Christ. We're too busy waiting for God to come and do something. For real, we are. And if somebody dies in someone's family, we gotta raise money just to bury him. GoFundMe. Like, what is that? No one talked about going to get life insurance. No one talked about this. Yeah, my daddy used to work for the water company for 25 years. I think that's very admirable. But did your father ever want to do anything else? See, we try to justify our where we are in life. So if I worked for the water company for 25 years, very admirable job. I'm sure you worked very hard. But did you ever want to make more? Did you ever want to do more? Did you ever want to travel the world? So now it's called. One bishop, I was a lady named Bishop Rosie. She said she made this example. A lot of churches have the church mother who's really good at playing the piano, and she learns how to play the piano. She plays the same note, and she plays it really well. She's played the same note in the same song for the last 25 years. Now, she was there. She was dependable. She was there to play that piano every Sunday. Got it? She never developed in her skill sets. If I'm going to be doing something for 25 years, she should have been Mozart by the time she got done with that. But she only learned how to play that little song. What I'm saying is, we in the body of Christ, we believe God can prosper us. We know he can bless us to the utmost degree. But we don't do what we need to do so we can get and activate those things he's already put out there for us. So that's what I want to do, man. I want to bring everything I've learned from sales to business to entrepreneurship and just bring it to the church, man, because I think the body of Christ, look, Hayward, we got enough broke people in the body of Christ. We need to have some more rich people so we can do what we need to do so we can get people's lives saved.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Now, looking back, as we wind this thing down, there's a couple questions left.
Yeah.
Looking back, would you change a thing?
No. I wouldn't. Not anything. No. No. Only I probably change is, probably stayed on my workout regimen a little bit more. Other than that, no.
Yeah, to be honest, neither would I. Where the experiences I had, good and bad, it made me who we are.
Yeah.
It's where we're at,
Yeah.
Now, where can our listeners, our Career Post podcast audience, where can our listeners find out more about you, any other events or things coming up, your social media, where people can find you?
You can look up for meetup.com, Oakland County Cash Flow. We're on the second Saturday of every month. We're not doing it this week because I have a conflicting engagement. So we'll be getting going the second Saturday of November, whatever that day is. I'm not exactly sure. You can see me on Facebook, justin.ivy/facebook.com. I'm on LinkedIn. Please feel free to ask me any questions that you have. I'm very easy to find. My email is justin.c.ivy@gmail.com. At gmail.com. So, like I said, I'm very easy to find. Right now, I've got a lot of different projects going, so if I don't answer you right away, just understand I'm not avoiding you. It's just I'm busy at that time, and I will answer your question as best, once I get to it.
Awesome. Now, last thing, Justin, as we wrap up this 6th episode of the Career Pulse podcast, leaving our listeners, tell us a little bit about what legacy means to you and how you want your legacy to be remembered.
Legacy, man, I want to make a lot of money, man. But it's more than just the money. I know I can do stuff with the money.
It's a tool. It's a
tool. I know that this society respects money. So the more of it that I have, the more situations I can help make better. I mean, there's a lot of neighborhoods in Detroit that could use a new house or houses. Don't you think it'd be a different feel if new houses were going up? Be a different energy, a different vibe. What if I had money, not even just money, but I had enough connections and resources to where I could look at Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert has brought several businesses to Detroit. How many jobs did that create for people? See, that's real impact. So yes, he's a billionaire. Yes, he's buying up everything in Detroit. Yes, he's very successful. Yes, he makes a lot of money. But he's able to use his money, his resources, his influence to convince Nike to come to Detroit. 2009, Nike was the furthest thing in their mind.
Right.
Why am I going to Detroit? They got a Panera Bread in Detroit now. It's crazy, man. So that's the type of legacy I want to leave. I want to make a lot of money so I can make other people's lives better and just be somebody in there that's doing it. I mean, because at the end of the day, man, listen, I can only drive so many cars. I can only wear so many suits. I can only go on so many vacations. But at the end of the day, whose lives did you make better? So that's really what I'm trying to do. And I believe I can do that through the church. A lot of things that, I've seen a lot of churches want to do programs and either they stopped doing it or they ran out of money. Well, it takes money to run a church.
It does. And
if we don't have people who don't have the financial means to help put on these programs, what good is it?
Yeah.
So I think, that's my legacy, man. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to go into a city or a neighborhood where it is abysmal and bring back hope and opportunity there. And that's what I want to do.
Well said, Justin. And thank you for coming aboard the Career Pulse podcast. I commend you and acknowledge you for your passion, your energy, what opportunity you want to bring to others, and really instilling your knowledge. Because even just come here listening to you really helps me personally. With what I want to do with people I want to impact. So I really appreciate you coming on the Career Pulse podcast. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, Career Pulse podcast community. This is Hayward and Justin Ivey, and we're out.
Well, there it is, Career Pulse podcast community. Interview with Justin Ivey, a real estate investor, entrepreneur, sales professional. Spit a lot of good knowledge and a lot of good things. I took so many notes and takeaways from it. And like I said, he still hosts the Oakland County Cash Flow game each month in Auburn Hills. A lot of his philosophies on college and power of entrepreneurship, that is, really was very fascinating. He's a really growing, rising voice in the local Detroit community as far as faith and finances go. So once again, very good stuff. And feel free to look out. We have about 4 episodes left of the Career Pulse podcast. There's going to be 9 episodes for the first season. And looking forward, keep listening, and feel free to give me any feedback and anything I could work on to improve and make this potential long-term podcast better than it can be. But other than that, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time on the Career Pulse podcast, your vital sign for career and business from everyday go-getters like you.